calling this meeting back to order. Item 5.0, announcement of action taken in closed session. Oh, that's me. Sorry, I'm so used to looking at you. All right, I'm pleased to announce that the Board of Education, by unanimous vote of 7-0, approved a satisfactory evaluation of the superintendent for the 2021-2022 school year. The following statement is from the board. Our board is fully committed to success for all students and addressing the long-term needs of our district. Our board agrees that the Sac City Unified needs a cohesive governance team that is focused on achieving these goals. To that end, our board has engaged in extensive professional learning about best practices in school district governance and team and leadership development that support student success. Through this collaborative process, and consistent with the superintendent's contract, we've developed an evaluation tool that links the superintendent's annual evaluation to the long-term needs of the district. We will build on this milestone as a governance team by fostering accountability for student success and working collaboratively with Superintendent Aguilar and all the district staff leadership team to address the challenges and accelerate success for all students in our district. Do we have any public comment? No. All right, I will open this up for board comment. Member Wu.
Yes, thank you. We want Sac City Unified to become a high-functioning, high-achieving district with our students and community and the community deserves. The superintendent's evaluation is aligned with achieving these goals. As the longest-serving member on the board, I have learned that there are no quick fixes that can fix schools or improve education systems. Supporting success for all students is a long game, and implementing best practices for district governance and operations takes hard work. It also requires thoughtful, strategic planning and a long-term commitment to see it through. I applaud my colleagues on the board and Superintendent Aguilar for remaining committed to address the long-term needs of our district while staying laser-focused on success for all students.
Thank you, Member Wu. Member Villa.
So again, thank you to my board, but I do want to mention that we know that there's some major problems, that we have, serious deficits that we have in Sac City Unified, and the pandemic has absolutely made it worse. But this board is very actively engaged in this professional learning and development and getting the best practices for our school board and also for the governance in our district. But I do want to say thank you, Superintendent Aguilar. Thank you very much, because I think a lot of people don't understand the hard work that you put into this district, the countless hours day in, from morning, sun up to sundown, on the weekends. I know the work that you do. The board knows the work that you do. And our board appreciates your dedication to this district. But we are committed to supporting this work as a collaborative team, and I look forward to seeing what we can achieve together in the future.
Thank you, Member Villa. Member Wu, did you want to speak again? Okay. Member Morosky?
Just thank you for the opportunity to say a couple words. So Superintendent Aguilar, it has been a great honor to serve this district with you as leader, working alongside my fellow board members and you as our superintendent. I am so impressed with your integrity. You've led us through crisis with persistence and determination and logic and information. And despite the crises we've been through, we have made progress in many areas. And in those where COVID has impacted that progress, we have identified what we need to work on and are on a path to make those improvements that we know we need to do. And that's what is, the focus on continuous improvement has been such a guiding force for you, and that's exactly what our district needs. We know we have a lot of work to do, and your focus, your dedication, and your persistence have been just critical for all of us to just keep moving us in the right direction with just an unyielding focus on what our students need. That's why we're here. That's why you're here. And just thank you for your work and your focus on our students and the long-term interests of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Morowski. Member Phillips.
So I'm all about that information thing. So many of you have been asking what we've been doing in these special meetings, 9, 10, 11 meetings that we've had. So that's if memory serves me right. So here's how it happens. Special meeting agendas pop up, but there's no specific information to help you bridge the gap between guessing and knowing. That is a concern about it being transparent or acceptable, but we're working on it, and I'm going to continue to tell you why. We've been having special meetings catered by Central Kitchen, and I truly believe we did a good thing to highlight district priorities directed at improving student outcomes. Here's what we've been doing in these meetings. Our council can stop me if I step out of line. The elected representatives of Sacramento City Unified School District, your board, held a number of workshops where we worked together with our employee for his contract, Superintendent Aguilar, to create an evaluation because everyone needs to know how well they are doing their job, right? Our goal is to support positive long-term impacts that will help improve the successes of all of our students, staff, and whoever the superintendent is in the future. Our focus was and will continue to be team and leadership development so we can push forward district priorities directed at improving student outcomes and improve efforts to advance success for every single last student in our district. This evaluation is linked to the long-term needs of this district. And I'll tell you that these intensive professional learning workshops were complex, uncomfortable at times, though productive, taxing, and frequently draining. We learned a great deal about one another, but we still have a way to go. In order to make the changes we want to see in this district, we don't have to be on the same page, but we have to take the time to appreciate the gifts that each and every one of us brings to the dais. So why are you hearing about this now? I believe you have a right to know that we've been working to create an evaluation for the superintendent over these last few months, and I apologize for not keeping you all abreast of what was happening as it was happening. Perhaps the finer details cannot be shared, but the public knowing what we are doing with their time and money is important, and we should share as much as we know when we know it. Perhaps you should have known sooner than tonight, because this is progress, and progress is a good thing. With that said, yes, we have an evaluation, fantastic. However, our students are still not getting what they need in this district. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there are still concerns with the performance of this district with regard to the progress our students are making. I don't have to tell you that this is an unknown. Can we use it to keep the superintendent accountable and therefore keeping executive staff accountable? Sure. But we have to realize our top-down approach to accountability comes with knowledge of and from the folks on the ground who do the heavy lifting. If we don't look at accountability in our district as a whole, then we are failing. Therefore, our executive failures are the failures of our students, which is unacceptable. I feel it is my responsibility as an elected official to be as transparent as is possible, especially when it comes to progress, because the public deserves to know. Going forward, efforts to increase transparency and share what we can about what we are doing with the public should be a top priority with our students, staff, and community in mind. Keeping you in the loop will definitely close the gaps in shared knowledge that affect this district. The more we all know, the better.
Thank you, Member Phillips. Do we have any other board comment? All right. I wanted to say that the superintendent evaluation is a huge undertaking, and this board did not take it lightly. As Member Phillips just shared, we had several meetings, and I just want to thank our entire governance team, including the superintendent for their effort through this process. And these meetings, just like board meetings, take place after some of us working 8 to 10 hours and then going in for an additional 4-hour meeting. We've all been so committed to ensure that we create a tool that is professional and long-standing with our students at the forefront of our minds throughout the entire process. This whole process has me reminiscing a little. I still remember before we hired Superintendent Aguilar, we conducted many meetings at our school sites. And we asked what qualities are to our communities, what are they looking for in a superintendent? And one that stood out that I still remember to this day is that they wanted a superintendent that was committed to our district and stop the revolving door. Well, somebody that they said somebody that would not look to leave every time times got tough, and somebody that was dedicated to our students. And I feel like we, as a governing board, we listened. And Superintendent Aguilar's tenure here has been just that. And his fearless leadership is just what our students need, and we need to keep moving forward. So thank you, Superintendent Aguilar, for your commitment and leadership for every single student in this district. All right, Superintendent.
Thank you, President Pritchett. I want to first just thank each of you as board members for your kind words, but also, and most importantly, for your own commitment to continuing to grow as a governance body in terms of effective governance. And I truly believe that the school board governance structure is key in the success of Sac City Unified. I want to just thank each of you for your kind words, but I also want to just point to a couple of things that several of you said in your own comments. One, Member Phillips mentioned the word future, and she said the superintendent of the future doesn't have to be me. And I think that the work that we engaged in over the course of many meetings was to focus not just on the present, but about the future as well. I also want to just appreciate that the comments were focused on students and student achievement. And in the end, that is what we also have to keep in mind and keep front and center in the work that we're doing. We will continue to do it with an improvement mindset. And I can't tell you how difficult it is for me that we cannot see changes in student outcomes as quickly as we would like to see, as quickly as our students deserve. 6 years is a generation, but I commit to each and every one of you and each and every one of our families that just as I wake up every morning as a parent first, that I will continue to operate with a great degree of impatient patience, knowing that we are trying to steer a very large organization in a direction that keeps our students front and center, but also understanding that that is not going to be done as quickly as one would like, but rather that we will put in place systems that allow us to pivot quickly, that allow us to be very nimble. And that is the commitment that you will continue to see from me and from every single one of our staff members here in Sac City Unified. Finally, I just want to tell the board that I will continue to strive to improve in how I work with you, how I communicate with you, and how we all collectively communicate with every one of our families. There's great work happening, but not enough great work that's happening, and that is showing up in the outcomes that we are producing. So what you will see from me is a continued commitment not to talk about the outcomes that we're seeking, but rather the outcomes that we're getting. And those are unacceptably low outcomes, low outcomes. And I just want to, again, just acknowledge your own commitment to stay focused on what we have termed the main thing. The last thing, and I don't do it enough, President Pritchett and board members, if you would allow me, I just want to express my own gratitude and thanks to my own family for their forbearance. As you mentioned, President Pritchett, there have been lots of long hours in order for us to continue to serve our community with integrity and honor. And that has, of course, meant less time with our loved ones. And that's something that I know has impacted you. So I thank you as well. And I would thank your own family members. But I did want to just take a moment to thank my wife and my children.
Thank you, Superintendent. All right. With that, I will take a motion for adjournment. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Meeting adjourned.